everybody. Welcome to episode 5, Cinco.
I was going to say that. I was going to be proud of myself going, I know which episode this is. Hey, this is Pablo.
Yeah, this is Wes.
And we're going to get right into it.
Yeah, so in case you didn't know, we have a new upload schedule for podcasts. It's Sundays and
Thursdays.
There you go. And we would love it if you would go on iTunes, and if you'd listen, which is the only way you're hearing me now, leave us a 5-star review and some nice comments. And please, if you're on Instagram, use your Instagram handle or include it so we can give you a shout out and maybe other people can connect with you as well. Like-minded individuals
Absolutely.
Connecting. That's what we want.
We want to connect with you.
All right. So a little overview about what to expect in today's show. We're going to talk about why your personality type matters.
Introvert versus extrovert?
Yeah. That's actually Pablo and Wes in a nutshell.
Pretty much. Yin
and yang.
Yeah.
Yes. And segment 2.
Self-care strategies. How you got to take care of yourself.
Yes. And Pablo is, he's very motivational in this aspect. He has we're going to find out. We're going to learn more. And then segment 3, what to bring to an interview.
And I've been recently on a few interview panels.
Yes. Were they
I have
prepared?
some things to share. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
All right. Here we go. Let's kick it off with why your personality type matters. So for me, I remember early on in my teaching career, it was something that puzzled me at the time. It was a staff activity we did during an in-service day. The principal brought in a consultant. We all took the Myers-Briggs test.
Yes.
And if you're not familiar with that, it kind of gives you these 4 letters that stand for, E for extroverted, I for introverted. Yeah. And there's like intuitive and feeling and all these letters that help you understand, like ISTJ, ISFJ. You can look those up and Google them. At the time, I was kind of... I didn't really understand it. We did this exercise, move into 4 corners. You could kind of see the staff, how they split, and that kind of broke down. Well, we're going to talk more about, dealing with your staff and personality types on the next episode. But in dealing with students, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, is that knowing yourself can help you get more mileage out of what you have, the limited resources you have to offer students. And so one of the things I have to share, to be totally honest, I'm an introvert, but as a classroom teacher around 180 students a day, it's very hard to live as an introvert in a secondary classroom like that. And so I mostly for years, as I grew in my responsibilities and I coached speech and some other things, I would routinely have my classroom open during lunch, and students would come in, they'd practice, they'd practice their speeches, they would study, they would just hang out. But there came a point where it was taking a toll on me, and I had to realize, like, you know what? I can't every day spend lunch with 20 or 30 other students. I sometimes have to close my door and lock it. And I need a minute to recharge. I need to, as Pablo likes to say, hit that reset button. And I was always giving. And that actually was not for the greater good, because then that would burn me out even further.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one.
It's a great point. I think people who meet me may see me at conference presentations or during conference presentations while I'm presenting. They might think I'm an extrovert, and maybe I am. Maybe I'm, in denial.
Take that test.
Yeah, I'm in denial, but I do like my me time.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah.
You talk about similar things. I don't want to be antisocial, but there are some times during the school year when I was teaching, didn't want to go to the teacher faculty room just because I just wanted my time. I didn't want to talk about necessarily anything that, I don't know why I always use Johnny. Poor Johnny.
Poor Johnny.
Whoever Johnny is,
Joanne,
I apologize.
Jamie.
Yeah,
Use
them
Jamie.
too. That I didn't want to talk about them right then and there. Yes, they're on my mind, and there's things that are, that I'm being reflective about. But I want to do that maybe in my own space, in my own head, in my own time. And so there was times I took those, those Buddha moments, and I used my classroom as, just shut it down for 30 minutes and just be reflective, for myself.
And if we're being honest, in my first year or two, I think I had first period prep. I actually may have crawled under my desk and taken a nap a few times. Like literally starting teaching was very, very hard. It took its toll on me. And sometimes I needed I could do better.
I'm learning more about you in terms of naps.
You were getting to work at 4 a.m. I'm getting there at 7 a.m. and sleeping till 8. Hey, we're different people.
Yeah. No, I as far as that goes, know yourself, but I don't think you change. You are what you are. Mm-hmm. But you need to kind of adapt in the world that we live in as teachers specifically. So, I don't know completely. I think maybe I need to go take that test again and see where I'm at. But so I don't know. Maybe I don't need no stinking test.
My point in bringing this up is not only do we need to know ourselves, but in looking at our students is to realize that we have students with various personality types. And so if you're an introvert, and maybe you get along great with the other introverts, but the students who come up and, hi, Mr. Griesel, and they're in your face and they're in your space as an introvert, maybe that bothers you. And so to realize that's not a personal offense, that's not something they're doing to you, but to see them for who they are, which is a different person, maybe then you can reflect on what are some different ways that I can help that student be who they are and learn and grow as an educator, because the rest of your career is going to be dealing with people who have a variety of personality types.
No, you need to be a sponge. You need to be clay. You need to mold yourself into whatever the student needs. The student is first and foremost. And so we need to make them feel safe in our classrooms. And part of that is relationships with our students, knowing that they feel good about coming to your classroom and can open up and have conversations with you, or just smile, or tell you a quirky joke. Take it. No, that's what teaching and just leading a classroom is all about. Making sure that students are really feeling good about being at school.
Yeah. And I think there's some basics in classroom management where just creating like you said, a safe place for all students, regardless of personality type. That's hard. That's a hard skill, and it's something that takes a while to learn and then master. But it's part of being a teacher.
And just a quick tip, and I think we might have mentioned this in a previous show, but shake their hands when they come in, or have some form of connection, salutation when you start the day.
Yes.
Or if you are a middle school or high school teacher and kids go from period to period, it's going to happen every period, and commit to that. It matters. It does wonders.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think just paying attention to those opportunities and seeing, like, even though they don't line up with how you are maybe structured or engineered as a human, but seeing, what, when I look in their eye and shake their hand, that makes a connection that I can use for learning, in 5 minutes or 2 minutes or after roll is taken. That's important.
Yeah. Oh, show.
All right. So that kind of leads us into our second segment, which is self-care strategies, or as Pablo likes to say, and I do as well,
winning the day, baby. Winning the day.
Win the day.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Pablo, tell me about.
Okay, so I try to preach this every day, and I try to live it every day, and that is winning the day. So you said it in this, I think both of us had this conversation earlier in the school year when we started working together for the first time, and Tim Ferriss' name came up. And so he has a whole book on strategies on how to make yourself a better person, more productive person. But the thing that I took from it is, and that's what you make it for yourself. And winning the day to me is, how do you jumpstart your day to just, you check that box, woohoo, I feel super good. I've accomplished so much, and I haven't even arrived at my work or job or my teaching or at my school. So
give us those tips.
So here
what
the
do you
tips
do?
are.
How do you start
I do
each
3
day?
things, and we've kind of I think I stole from you the M's.
Yeah.
Were they M's? Yeah. So
M's.
first I work, there's no specific order, but first thing I do is I make the bed. I feel super accomplished.
Tip. Yes.
There's research on that a little bit about making that's that general or that sergeant or that military guy. I can't remember his name. He's looking it up.
Yeah, it's
Navy SEAL Admiral.
What's his name?
We're trying to get there, but anyways, I make the bed. The power of making your bed. And it doesn't need to be like, hospital corners and everything. Just get that done, and you will have something that you already have accomplished for the day.
Yeah.
And besides, my wife loves it because every day she comes home and the bed is made.
So a really quick tip, like you can check this out on YouTube. So it's Admiral McRaven gives a speech, and he talks about what making the bed before, like first thing in the morning, what it does for you. So check it out on YouTube. It's awesome. It's actually a great thing to show to your students. It's only like a minute 41. Take the time to share.
The Admiral lays it down.
Yeah.
Okay. The two other things that I do is I do some push-ups. It's not a full workout. It's just to get your muscles. That's the second. And make the bed. Muscles. M for muscles. Yes. Do a few push-ups. I do about 24 push-ups, segments of 12. 12's my favorite number. And so it's just random. It's my high school number. And then the third thing I do is meditate. Yeah. And I'm still fairly new to meditating. Meditating to me is just working on my breaths and just trying to get lost in it. But you will never, ever be so, I mean, you can get there. I know that people do it for 45 minutes, they say. I don't know how that's even possible right now, but hopefully I'll get there. I don't know. I'm working on trying to get to 5 minutes, to be honest. But breathing, just focusing on my breathing, working on my muscles every morning and making the bed. I feel super pumped, and I'm ready to go and conquer that day.
Yeah. So I'm about like a 75% rate with my winning the day, but I do.
It's okay, but before you list yours, because they're very similar, I think one only difference that we have right now is that we talk about it. Yeah. And I think that feedback and that
great point.
To actually have somebody to share that journey with, and just to ask, bounce those like, hey dude, how about today? And you have to be, I mean, he could lie to me, but I don't think he has, because I can tell.
Probably knows every time I ask the question, it means that I won the day.
Oh, yeah. Selfish.
If I start the conversation.
Anyways, go ahead.
So I do 10 push-ups. Lately, I've been doing like 10 burpees that gets the heart rate up higher. So that's my muscles. That's activating my muscles. But I also meditate, and I would just throw out, check out the Calm app, or there's one called Headspace. Very user-friendly guided meditation strategies. I love that one. So meditate, make the bed. Also, a wife pleaser right there. If Darlene comes home and the bed is made, that's a win-win. And I love it too, knowing that I've checked that off, like I've accomplished something that early in the morning. And then the fourth one that I do is I do something called morning pages, and you can Google that. My strategy is I have a journal, and I write 3 things I'm grateful for. One is a long-term relationship with somebody who's been in my life for a while. One is an object that's in my physical surroundings. Yes. And one is an opportunity I have in front of me that day. And then I throw in some other things like affirmations for myself. And sometimes I write my main priority for the day. But basically, just to get down on paper things I'm grateful for at the beginning of the day just sets a different focus than just running out the door.
Yeah, and earlier this year, we actually, at our district-wide conference, we did 2 sessions essentially on winning the day and it was well attended, and we had a lot of good feedback from it in terms of teachers just saying, thank you for reminding me to go back
take care of myself.
But like some people were voracious readers, and they stopped because they were so busy in their day in, day out jobs and lives. Take that time. Take that time to take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's great. So self-care strategies. Actually, we would love, hit us up on Instagram. Tell us what you do. We'll put out a post that's asked what you do to win the day. We'd love to hear from you and learn from you as well. All right. So segment 3. So there's the question is, what do you bring to an interview? And this came from a Instagram account that we follow called The Philosophical Math Teacher. And I think she was saying, hey, I have an interview coming up. What should I bring? And so just some of the things that people posted, we want to share those and then talk about that. So one, Ms.Mango said, hey, how about you bring an example rubric, something you can show about what you would use to talk about the quality of student work.
So the question might come up, though, Wes, is like, I've been on lots of interview panels. Very few. Now, I've been interviewed quite a few times for positions, but on the interview panel, it's interesting because not a single person brought a document
or something.
Anything. I think so. We have to keep that into consideration. These are these are good ideas as long as they're, I guess, allowed.
Yeah, that's true.
And maybe they're not. So we'll talk about that in a second because I have some ideas. But keep them coming.
Well, I think that's a good question. So if you have an upcoming interview and you want to bring something, call and ask HR. Like, hey, I'm allowed to pass out something during the interview. So that's another way.
And if they don't say anything, just keep on going.
Yeah, just bring it.
Maybe they're going to be okay with it. Yeah.
So another good tip. This is from, I think it's Instagram account Tales from Sixth.
Tales from 6th grade. So 6th.
So it says bring information about the school and have specific questions about the school. So sometimes you're applying for a pool and you don't know what school, but bring questions about the district. And the part that I like about what they wrote is do research about why that school or that district. Don't just say, I want a job. Say, I want to work with you, and have it really focused on them, the district or the school, that show that you understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one other, there's more responses that you can check. There are many comments under this post, but #drivers.ed said a clear idea of what a day in your classroom is like. So that's okay. And then this was money for me. Answers that include, for example, and I had a great professor who once said, you know how you can tell a new teacher from an experienced teacher? Is the new teacher's answers sound like a textbook. And then people with experience give you a real example of what just happened with that question. So that's a good.
No, you have to have some credibility, and examples make things more credible.
Yeah.
Back to my point earlier.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about when you can't bring anything to the table or bring anything physical.
Yeah.
You have to bring yourself.
Yeah.
And humans, since we all are,
yes,
or at least that's who we think is listening here.
Preach.
Humans basically make decisions based on feelings, based on emotion.
Yeah.
You have to have some type of emotion, not emotional, but bring those emotions and make those connections in whether it's eye-to-eye contact or changing maybe the cadence of your voice or what have you. Bring people into your world or into your space, invite them in through an interview.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always worked for me in terms of me being the interviewee or interviewer. No. It works for me. No. I'm interviewing somebody.
Okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying, it works for me when people are inviting me into their space.
Yes.
I'm that much more intrigued.
Yeah. And I think a way to think about it is a good interview is they're trying to find whether or not you're a good fit.
Who you are.
And the thing is, if you share the journey you're on, and if they like that and that resonates with them, that's going to connect to them in such a way that they're like, that's the journey we're on at this school. You're a good fit for us.
Especially as a new teacher.
Yeah.
You're not going to have loads of experience.
Yeah.
So there's the alternative, and that's who you are, what you bring to the table as a person.
Yep.
And what you can do for the kids that are going to be in your classroom.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, we have extended our time, I feel like. So we're going to give to our social media shout outs. So the interview question came to us on Instagram. I saw Pathways to the number 2 Success posted, Hey, I got this interview coming up. What should I bring? So check out her account. And also we had a couple of people talking about self-care. I reposted on our account one of those. So I'm going to just look up and see who did that and share their account with you. So that was Pathways to Success. We got the self-care post from her. But also we had the self-care segment was from an Instagram account called Mr. Compass. And he has a podcast as well called Tough Talk for Teachers.
Yeah.
In their April 26th episode, they talked about self-care. So we want to give
them
a shout out. Check them out. Right. And thanks for joining us.
Hey, we're Pablo and Wes. Yes. And you can find us, all our socials and everything are Pablo and Wes or at pabloandwes.com.
Yeah. And we're going to upload every Sunday and
Thursday.
So check it out. Leave us a 5-star review. We love you.
Yeah.
Was that too much?
No, we love you.
It's the journey we're on.
Yeah. Right on. We'll see you next time.
Boom.
Boom.
All right.